Okay, welcome to lesson 3001, the coordinate plane. This is the first lesson of geometry. I think I forgot in the intro why this is 3000. Because there are 100 plus lessons dealing with algebra, and under the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, this is 2.3. That's a bad color. 2.3. I chose to make it 3000. If I would have went by hundreds and I had my numbering system by the hundreds, the algebra would have overlapped with the numbering system. So I had to go up to thousands to make numbers and operations work under 2.1. Had to make algebra work under 2.2 and geometry work under 2.3. I anticipate there being 80 to 90 lessons, maybe 95. I might get to 100, but I'm not sure. Let me look and see. No, 79. There may be 79 lessons here on this algebra channel. And I should have said that in the intro, but I'm saying it now. So let's get on with the first lesson of geometry, the coordinate. Okay, here's our objective. And as always, you can pause the video and read this thing here. So let's start with what we have. Okay. Any point in this area right here is called quadrant 1. So there are 4 quadrants on the coordinate plane. The vertical is your y, the horizontal is your x, and the point will be positive, positive. So here in quadrant 2, this is called quadrant 2. Your x's are negative and your y's are positive. And that's the difference. So any point in this region is quadrant 2. Here in quadrant 3, both your x and your y are negative, and that's all points over here. And in quadrant 4, your x is positive and your y, that's supposed to be a positive. Let me erase that, make that neater. In quadrant 4, your x is positive and your y is negative. And that's all the points in this region. And this becomes important once we get into angles and all of that kind of stuff. But it's good to know where you are. So this point is 1, 1. This point is, let's call this point negative 1, 3. This point is negative 2, negative 3. And this point, this blue point, which I'm going to change to black, is 1, negative 3. So it does make a difference where your negatives are and where your coordinates are. Because if you try to tell me that 1, negative 3 is the same as negative 3, 1, you're going to be in 2 different places. It's like being on MapQuest and you put in 54th and, I don't know, if you're in Philly, if you put in 54th and Market and MapQuest take you to 63rd and Baltimore, you're in 2 different parts of the city, even though it's all West Philly. One is south of Baltimore Avenue, so you're in Southwest, and one is in West Philly. So you're in 2 different places. Okay, so some more vocabulary for you. Okay, so from the previous page, our vocabulary was x coordinate, the x-axis. The horizontal is your x-axis. This is your x-axis, the whole horizontal. And then your y-axis is the vertical part. Your origin is 0, 0. That's where the x and y axis meet. And an ordered pair is you start at the origin, you move an X first, and then you see where your Y is. So if you draw a line down, you see 2. If you draw a line over, you see 3. So an ordered pair, X is always first and Y is always second. How you move from the origin is you move in X and then in Y, and you make a point. Coordinate plane for you to look at. Rules and notes. I talked about the quadrants before. Okay, so let's plot the following points. 2, 2. So A is here. So you always start from your origin, which is this point right here where the X and Y meet, and you go 2 in X and 2 in Y, and that's point A. So B is 3, 4, and 3, 4 is right here. That's B. C is negative 3, 3, negative 3, positive 3. That's C. D is negative 5, 6, negative 5, and 6 is D. E is negative 2, negative 3, which puts us down in quadrant 3. That's E. Negative 6, negative 1 is F. G is 5, negative 2. All right, so, and then H is going to be 3, negative 5. So as you can see, it makes a big difference where the positives and negatives are and where the X always comes first in a point. These should have been in parentheses. And this is how you plot points. Anytime you see a parenthesis and two numbers separated by a comma, you know you're dealing with a point on a coordinate plane. And if the plane is not marked with numbers, you're going to have to use the lines. If the plane is marked with numbers, it's easier to plot your points. So that was our only example for this lesson. Please try the practice problem, and I will see you at the end of the video for a review. Okay, so for the only problem, all you had to do was give the coordinates of each quadrant point, A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, so A, you go in X, and then you look in Y, and that is 1, 3. And then for B, you go on X, and you look in Y, and that is negative 2, 3. For C, you go on X, and then you go on Y, and that is negative 3 in X, negative 2 in Y. And for D, and you go on X, and then you go on Y. So you have +2, -3. And for point E, that's going straight in X. So the point is 4, 0. So whenever a point lies on the axis, one of the coordinates will be 0. So if it lies on the x-axis, the y-coordinate will be 0. If it lies on the y-axis, the x-coordinate will be 0. And I probably should have put an example of something on the y-axis for you. So you know what? Let's just do that. Let's just say this number right here. So the blue point, and we'll make a new one, F, and we'll call that 0, -5. You went 0 and X. So all you're doing is going up and down from the origin in Y. So thank you for watching this. You were referred over here from lesson 2079, so the 79th lesson of algebraic concepts. So hopefully this helps you understand how points are plotted on a coordinate plane. And that's what we are working on. And so have good luck out over there in algebra. If you're not coming here from algebra and you're just working on this as your first couple lessons at whatever level you're working on, hopefully you learn something. And remember, math is best learned when it's practiced. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and share this with others. I will catch you on the next video.